Radio Raheem at the post-fight for Scott Quigg and Oscar Valdez. Everything is happening so fast. They're bringing down the banner. Valdez is on his way to the hospital. Scott Quigg is getting his nose fixed. That's what kind of fight it was tonight. It was pouring down rain. It was dark, and the fighters went every round hardcore. We're about to check the post-fight and see what they have to say.
There's a lot of good things Oscar did as far as boxing is concerned, correct? But then again, you know, I mean, he'll sit in the pocket and he'll go to the body and he'll bang with the fighter but just understanding that you have to be able to, as a coach, dictate the situation. Yes, fight. In other words, he's got to be the one dictating the tempo in the ring as far as when to fight, when not to fight, when to box. It was evident. I mean, he made Scott Quigg miss a lot. But again, Scott Quigg, man, he's a warrior. Come on, and if anybody hasn't seen Scott Quigg fight before, he's gonna be on your ass from round number 1 to round number 12. So he's been in lots of wars, and he's used to this. So it doesn't surprise me that Scott fought this way.
Manny, what was going through your mind in the 5th round when it looked like Quigg had Valdez momentarily hurt? And do you think that moment happens without the weight advantage?
You know what? Maybe, because that's a lot of weight that you're carrying. Come on, it's just, I mean, when Oscar caught the guy, he stuttered Scott, but momentarily, and he came right back at him. And he caught him several times with, you know, to the head, to the body, and he took his punches very well, better than anyone else ever has. You know, I was asked this question: do you think Freddie, you know, and Scott Quigg's team did this on purpose? Do you think that it was deliberate, that they didn't make weight? Well, I don't know. I mean, who wants to give up 20% of their purse and not fight for a world title, right? I doubt that very much. What were the reasons why you know, Scott Quigg didn't make weight? I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
Fractured his foot a month ago.
I don't know. You're telling me this now. I mean, if he had a fractured foot, I don't think he'd be fighting.
For a fractured foot.
Yeah, he did very well for a fractured foot. I mean, I don't know if I can believe that or not. Really.
Manny, we've heard some of the plans with Valdez is to hope to build him into a top prize fighting featherweight like Morales and Barrera. He's definitely a top prize fighter, but do you think he's approaching or at the level that those guys were at in terms of?
Oh man, we got some big shoes to fill, man. And we got to stay grounded, man. We got to stay humble, man, and we leave that up to the public, up to the media, and you guys decide if he's there or not. We just got to keep working. We got to keep pushing forward.
Did you find it suspicious or dubious they wouldn't do a second-day weigh-in?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
I mean,
come on.
Why wasn't that enforced?
Are you kidding me? I have no idea. I don't have anything to do with that. I mean,
Todd,
I wish I knew.
Do you know why the second-day weigh-in wasn't enforced?
Enforced.
Well,
the IBF is the only organization that officially does a second day.
Right, but a lot of times when a fighter doesn't make weight, it is actually protocol to say, wait, let's try to work something out to make it fair. I think there was a legitimate reason why Quigg didn't make weight. But I've seen a lot of fights where they say, okay, if you don't make weight, you do a second-day weigh-in.
Well, listen, I think that the agreement that they had, obviously they asked for a second-day weigh-in. Quigg refused to do that. And I think rather than sit here and say, point fingers at people, I think you give credit to the people that got jump in the ring, to Oscar and his team, that say, listen, we're going to give this guy, we're going to take him on. He wants to cut some corners and have an unfair advantage. If that's what you want to say, we want to fight. And you know, you tip your hat to the guys that take credit, and you know, put all the BS aside and go to be a fighter.
All right.
So I can't answer that for you.
How much did this fight going down have to do with Oscar wanting it? Did you guys try and talk him out of it, and it was him at the end of it, or how'd that go about?
You know what? Again, this decision was made by his manager, his father, Oscar. But at the end of the day, it was Oscar's call.
I mean, I think when you talk about Oscar Valdez, I mean, listen, we all see fighters, right? We all see fighters, right? And we get emotionally involved, and Manny's next to him and everything. And as much as he tells Oscar, don't stay in the pocket, the kid loves to stay in the pocket. So it's in his DNA. He wants to be a fighter. So anybody telling him something that you think is the rational thing to do, which is make him have a second-day weigh-in, or not take the fight, or whatever it is, it's the same deaf ears that he gets when he says, don't pull straight back, don't go to the ropes, don't do those things. He's a warrior. That's in his DNA.
Maddie,
You mentioned that Oscar has been in, plenty of wars. These last few fights with Cervania, and the one before that. You as a trainer, what would you recommend? Would you pretty much rest him for the rest of the year?
Well, we'll wait and see what type of result we receive from the doctors. But styles make fights, man. Styles make fights. If you put Oscar in with Marriaga, you're gonna get fireworks. With Hennessy Cervania, studying the tape, you're gonna get fireworks.
Put him in with me, he'll put off fireworks.
And then again with Scott Quigg, you could put him in with Scott Quigg. Come on, it was a given. You all knew you were gonna get fireworks. I don't think anybody was wrong about the fight. Scott Quigg is a warrior. He comes forward and he comes to fight. Now, on the other hand, Oscar, I think Oscar he proved that he's a more complete fighter. He proved that he can bang, he can box, he can make you miss, he can make you pay. He did a lot of good, positive things tonight, considering the fight.
What Manny's saying is you can see, which is wonderful, when you see a young kid mature over the body of work. And we saw in the Marriaga fight where he was still young, and then you saw in this where he was learning some stuff, and all that fight and the Cervania fight made him be able to conquer what he had to do tonight. If he didn't have those fights, he probably couldn't have conquered what he did.
I was just about to tell you that. I was just about to mention that right now. If Oscar doesn't have the Marriaga fight and the Cervania fight, maybe Oscar wouldn't have gone past 6, 7, 8 rounds.
Right.
But it was due to those fights that Oscar was able to go 12 rounds the way he did today. These type of, sometimes, everybody likes to see knockouts. But what Oscar has to understand, prior to these last 3 fights, Oscar was used to knocking everybody out. Oscar, you're not going to knock everybody out, Oscar. You got to learn to go rounds. It's so valuable to go into deep waters and go 12 rounds, because at the end of the day, that's what those fights, that's what they got us here. If it wasn't, thank you, if it wasn't for those fights, as a promoter, I got to thank him, because if it wasn't for those fights, Oscar doesn't go the 12 rounds the way he did tonight. And I mean, every fight.
And also to see, the last 3 rounds where he comes on, right? That's the maturity, right? A lot of times you see the young kids fade at the end, but he started coming on in the last 3 rounds and, went through adversity.
On that point, Manny, maybe did you tell him to come out and win the 9th? Because he came out hard in the 9th. He came back very hard in the 9th.
Yes,
so yeah,
those are the championship rounds,
man. You win that round, you won the fight.
Those are the championship rounds. You're going into the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th round. We all understand those are the championship rounds. Those are, that's when you show what you're made of.
Hey, Todd,
it's a given.
You guys have hosted plenty of cards here. Where does this rank at?
The wettest.
Obviously.
I mean, listen. There's something about this building. There really is something about the building. As somebody that puts on events and wants to, give the fight fans great events, you also want environmentally to be terrific. And all week I'm sitting on my phone looking at this weather, and I'm like, come on, be wrong for once, right? Why does it say 100% chance of rain on Saturday, right? So I think the memory of this is, it was a pretty unique environment. It was pretty unique to feel the rain coming down, to see it, and to see everybody in ponchos in the crowd. It was kind of special. And once again, you had a great show. And our matchmakers put on a terrific show. And every guy knows, every fighter knows, when he walks through that tunnel, this building, for some reason, if it's Bradley and Provodnikov, or Alvarado and Rios, the walls are special here. And these kids give it, and it was great. Like I said too, I get a text from from Matthew Macklin, who's calling it for Scott. I get a text from him, and he says, I look forward to the fight. And I said, well, it's going to be like a pitch, not a ring. That's what it felt like out there.
Where do you think